And welcome to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. New episodes each weekday morning, 9 a.m. on thatbusinessnetwork.com. And please subscribe to us on iTunes and on YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of taking care of our youth. And we have author Fayth Thomas with us today. She's the author of the book, Being the Best You, in which she talks about, the importance of feeding our children properly because of the prevalence of type 2 diabetes, a growing problem within our society. So, Fayth, welcome to the program today.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing great. And Fayth has a lot of experience in daycare and providing for children. And this new book that she has out just, helps develop her mission to raise awareness for, proper child care and you're fighting against that type 2 diabetes. And I'll let Fayth explain more. So Fayth, tell us a little bit more about your background and your mission.
My background, I have 3 beautiful kids, and I've been having a daycare for over 6 years. I've been a nanny for over 10 years. And you notice certain kids are bigger than others. And parents, they try to feed their kids as, what their income can afford. Everyone can't afford Whole Foods or, organic fruits and vegetables. So we have to do what we can do to make things affordable for us. So I find making smoothies and making things colorful is best for kids. And it's, the more colors, the better it is for them, as well as making it fun, making it easier for parents to just enjoy.
Now, I am not a father, so I can't speak from experience, but I can tell you with my own food addiction, it's tough to keep the candies and the sugars and the salts out of my own mouth. I can't imagine as a kid, or I guess I do remember a little bit, but as a parent, how can you fight against all the temptations, especially when the kids go to school and, the friends bring out their lunch boxes and they have all the candies and stuff?
Well, preparation is always best. If you start at home teaching them what they can have, lots of water, and you give them things that are not lots of sugar, it's already in their brain. It's like they know better and they're going to do better. But you don't always have to look at it as though it's unhealthy. If you just have carrots and you have strawberries and if you're full, you won't want to have all this bad stuff like chips and all these different kind of things because you are already in preparation with your brain of what you need or what you want. I notice when you're hungry, that's when you have the cravings or you want more to eat rather than
Right. Now, in your book, Being the Best You have a fictional story of, a child and being raised and being, going through the challenges of, being, fed properly. And you even have some advice in there for parents on how to, feed the children and what to feed them. So let's take it back to first to, the type 2 diabetes problem. How big is this problem today and how much of it is just centered around what we're feeding people as their children?
This problem is bigger than I thought. My family, I'm losing, a lot of, family members to diabetes. Not only that, I didn't realize that so many kids are getting it under the age of 10. Imagine that, where you have to give yourself pills and injections of insulin just to keep your sugar, at a good speed. We have to do something about this problem. And the number one way is educating our kids. Go back to educating them and trying to do things that make it fun for the kids, such as giving more nutrients and more vitamins that they can't tell that it's a vitamin. They're just eating the spinach and eating these different, vegetables.
Now, you work with kids many times through the years. You said you had 3 of your own, but they're getting more demanding these days. I mean, there's internet, there's the television, they're pushing the product to these kids, and these kids are standing up to the adults saying, I want this. No, I don't want that. How do you combat that these days?
They are. And that's why every 2 hours we're giving them things like nuts, and we're just staying in a food chain. If you're staying in a food chain, the grains and giving them different things that are not always microwavable. You can't microwave and just doing things to where you're baking more and your kids understand. They pick up. We have to start. The earlier you start, the better it is for them.
What about getting the kids outside? I actually consider myself fortunate that I grew up in a time before technology became prevalent, because I would have never have left the house, like many kids don't either. And so when I was outside, I wasn't thinking about food. But when you're inside playing games and constantly on the internet, you want to have a snack, you want to have food around, or the refrigerator's right there. I mean, how is technology playing into this, progression of type 2 diabetes and just obesity in our children?
That's why I say have a vegetable tray out. Have some peppers, some ranch. They can have different things where it's out already for them. So preparation is a big key to this if you want to be successful. And the better you buy, the quality you buy, the more vegetables, and the more they can see the colors, from the different bell peppers to broccoli to carrots, just having it there for them and getting them more involved. You can do anything to get involved. Say, come on, let's go dance. They don't understand that dancing is a part of, exercising, but hey, if you're having fun, you're laughing, they're enjoying it. You have to find ways to be creative and to just get them up out of their seat and to get down.
How effective is, like you've mentioned a couple of times, having a colorful presentation with the fruits and the vegetables versus, the sugars and the salty foods and things like that. Are kids really receptive to the color? Whereas me, it wouldn't do anything for me. That turns me off.
Yes, you have to make things look good. It's a lot of times me and my husband, we can make the same meal, but it's all about their eyesight, the way that it looks. You need to put it on pretty platters. Make it look nice. Just make it look like something you want to eat. You can't just give them some. If not, put some strawberries and put a little yogurt in there and, in a little blender and put some, make it tasty. What I do is I get a little protein and put it inside of it because they have like a little bit of sweetness to it. And I'm telling you, they never know the difference. They're thinking they're eating a strawberry smoothie, but I didn't put some salad in there, some greens, mixed greens. They don't even know.
So today, with the children developing, type 2 diabetes, more and more, I mean, what does this say about, our parenting? Is it a parenting problem, or is this a problem with the food industry marketing more to our children in a kind of a, backwards, or not backwards, but an indirect manner?
Well, I don't want to throw the blame on everyone, but the blame is on everyone. I mean, as parents, we are the buyers of the food. So we have to monitor what we're giving our kids. And if we're putting in their mind, let them process the fact that we have to eat better and we have to work out. This is one body. You get one body. If you're not taking care of your body, you're going to let it just flop off, and it's not about just flopping off. You can't walk right. You start having knee problems, back problems, different issues. So as parents, we have to monitor what they eat. The industry, that's a whole nother game with the meats and all that. We're not going to go there today.
Now, I was looking at your press release. According to the CDC, now more than 208,000 people younger than 20 have type 2 diabetes. And with, the growing population, we're just going to see this grow more and more. And with our changing culture, this is just going to grow more and more. And so it's important to have this type of knowledge and education, up front. How educated are the parents about this problem? You've worked in daycare for a long time, and so you've interacted with many, adults. I mean, are they even really aware of this problem?
Well, the good news is because of the way that the curriculum is for daycare, the daycare provider have to provide, if they're providing food, they have to provide the food. They give you a stipend every month. The daycare provider, they get a stipend from the government. So with that being said, they get to get wheats and different things, organic food. So they don't have to worry about that because the provider has to provide that for the daycare kids.
Yeah. So I was going to say something I think is important, and we hear about healthcare in the news every single day these days, and our politicians are really missing the boat because all we hear about is reactive policy on how to deal with what's currently going on, but we hear no talk of proactive policy about dealing with our youth and getting physical education programs into our schools and into our daycares that are actual physical education programs, not the ones that I remember where half the class was playing wiffle ball and the other half was standing on the side of the wall waiting for class to be over and socializing. I mean, are we seeing any changes in the physical education and the proactive mentality with regard to, health in our children?
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it more and more because it's being enforced. Once something is being enforced, and more parents are having more money to put their kids in sports and daycares where they have to do certain things to provide nutritious, um, vitamins and fruits and vegetables. I feel like everything is working out.
But are we seeing more physical education inside of our, inside of our educational systems? I'm talking about meaningful physical education, the kind where you're actually exercising. And like I said, I remember phys ed class, and it was, half the people played a game, the other half stood on the side of the wall.
But as parents, we have to make sure that our child is doing it. We can't just rely on someone else to do it. We have to make sure that we as parents is getting out, going on walks, getting out and going bike riding, just doing little things to be family oriented, and you're exercising, get that sweat going. When you wake up in the morning, get that good stretch in, and water.
And water is very important. I wish I was trained as a youth to drink water more and more, because I suffer from soda addiction. And, the water really can combat so many different things in health. And one of those is it makes you feel full.
Yes. I just want to tell everyone, being the best you is not only about diabetes, it's about having self-control over your whole well-being. And not only that, you have to understand that you are you, and the only way you could be the best you is by taking control over everything, and that starts with yourself.
Currently talking to Fayth Thomas, author of the book Being the Best You, and we'll get the link up for the book in the show notes as well. When we come back from the break, I'll have her walk me through the book, tell me the storyline of the book, and also get some additional tips on how you can help raise your children in a very healthy environment and help them avoid issues such as type 2 diabetes, a growing problem and an epidemic in our country. Again, Fayth Thomas, author of the book Being the Best You. Currently listening to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. And welcome back to That Business Show 2.0. I'm Jamie Maloney, your host. New episodes each weekday morning, 9 a.m. on thatbusinessnetwork.com. Each and every morning we talk with different professionals about their business or their story or their successes or failures in life. If you'd like to share yours with us, visit tbsinterview.com for more information. Today we're talking with Fayth Thomas, author of the book Being the Best You, which is centered around getting your children to live a healthy lifestyle, fighting the epidemic of type 2 diabetes, getting your kids to eat right and drink right from an early age so they don't deal with obesity, type 2 diabetes, and other problems that are coming from an unhealthy lifestyle. So Fayth, let's go through the book here, Being the Best You. It's a book written for children's book written for adults. Talk to me about the storyline, and where did the inspiration for the book come from?
The storyline is basically about a little boy who is given an assignment of what do you want to be when you grow up. He's young. He's 5 years old. He has no clue. He's like, I don't know. Only thing I'm good at is playing. Basically, he goes on in the story and he finds out that he's good at a lot of things, from helping his grandma, who is a diabetic, reminding her to take her medicine, to helping his sisters. He's always being kind. So his mother telling him, you should be a doctor. He's like, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be like my dad. So in this book, not only is I'm referring to don't be like anyone else. You are spectacular within yourself, and bullying. We're going into talking about how, the mindset has to be at an early age. What do you want to do? You have to start adapting into, your future early. And you have to be the best you by working out and taking control over yourself.
Now, how did the book come about? What was your inspiration for this? Was there an aha moment? Was it something that you'd always wanted to do? Tell me this.
This book came about because I have three beautiful kids of my own, and all the questions that they're asking, they're so knowledgeable at such a young age. I had to refer to them, I had to give them something positive to look back on with all the questions that they're asking, and just, I'm like, other parents need to understand what I'm understanding, and I just wanted to give something to our community and something to others of what I'm getting from my kids about how we have to train them early that they are wonderful, that they could be the best you, and how I had to give examples. I had to give.
Now, the book is written for children as well as adults. It's a very simple, easy to read book. Pictures incorporated. How was it received by your own children?
My son was like, Mom, I thought you said you were writing this book about me. Why does the little boy have curly hair? I don't have curly hair. But he loves the pictures. He actually, he wants me to read the book to him often. He's like, okay, I want to go get my book, because I use his name, I use the characters. I'm doing things that help them understand that you have to be self-motivated. You have to build wealth within, our kids. We have to understand that you have to start at an early age thinking about what you could do when you grow up. How are you going to make money? What are you going to, I know it's a lot to put on your kids at such an early age, but you only have a few years, so you got to get as much as you can at an early age.
No, it's definitely important to educate our children in the areas that traditional education does not provide for. How easy eating is one of them. Business being another. I've talked with a guest. It would be a good connection for you as well. But she's developed a series of books for children, like what you've done, except around business and teaching the kids about different areas of business. And so I think there's a great opportunity to teach our children these things, other than the basic history, English, and mathematics, which are, of course, of importance. But I can tell you, when I got out of school, I felt very, uneducated when it came to living life. I didn't know what it was like to buy a house, how to buy a house. I bought a car that was upside down. I didn't know what that meant. I tried to take it back when I couldn't pay for it. So these are the things, basic things that you and I probably take for granted today. But when you're 18, 19, you don't know this stuff.
That's why we have to get a rush on it. We have to start educating them at an early age. Okay, if mommy paid the gas bill or mommy paid the trash bill, not really putting too much on it. How much do you have left? What else can you buy? They're so smart. The more you give them, the better it is for you. We can't just wait until time. You're not, making them pay the bills or anything like that, but you have to give them insight. Once they get 12 and 13, they have to understand bills have to be paid. They have to understand that you have to be responsible, not only with, going to school. You have to be responsible with what are you going to do when you grow up? What is your goals? And you have to understand that you have to complete goals. You can't just let things just sit to the side, get things done.
Yeah, right. And you have experienced, the youth and the needs of youth, very closely with your three children working in daycare. Is this something that is going to become a product line for yourself, this book being followed by other books, or what's the long-term outlook of this brand?
You know what? I don't know what the future holds. All I know is that this book has opened up so many doors for me, and I'm really excited that people are actually interested in being healthy, interested in being self-motivated, interested in educating their kids on how to love themselves and don't worry about bullies and people that are going to bring you down. This whole concept of everything that I've done, it just felt good inside. And I might write other books in the future. Right now, that is not one of my goals. I'm a woman of many talents. I mean, we're doing real estate on the side. We're doing a lot of other things. So,
Now, you mentioned that it opened up doors for you. Can you elaborate on that, a little bit? Because that's a core message that I'll always like to, put through on this program, is the importance of writing books and what it can really do for you as a leader in your industry.
Well, writing books, a lot of people are like my mother-in-law and my little cousins are like, I always wanted to write a book. And the reason why I'm saying it's opening doors is because Amazon, one of the biggest companies, have my book, and Ex Libra is being the best you. It feels good to put something positive out there that you never thought that you could do. So if you start with little goals and little dreams, doors open. You never know the expansion of how many books you can sell. It's just open possibilities, basically.
Now, Ex Libris is a self-publishing application, a resource I'm not highly familiar with, but it's something that you've used for the distribution and publication of your book. Tell the community about this resource.
Ex Libris is really good because you don't have to pay them all up front. I have 3 kids. You can do little at a time. You can pay, payments, and they don't charge you on interest or anything like that. And you give them what your vision is, and they help you expand it from the marketing, from getting you tell them exactly what you want, how creative you want it, the pictures, and being the best you. Everything that I wanted, I got. With the help of a great marketing team and the great, help of my husband and my kids with the vision. Being the best you is not just about diabetes, and it's not just about self-motivation and kids opening their eyes at an early age. This is a part of you, of being the best you.
Now, inside the book, it's very well illustrated. Is that a service that Ex Libris provided? They did all the illustrations, or who did the illustrations?
Oh no, they did not do that. I got together with my husband and we came up with these. We wanted it to look more like our kids. So yeah.
So the illustrations are incredible inside the book. And again, this is a very simple, easy to read book. And at the end of it, it's got a number of great tips and things for children to eat. So let's go through these. Give us some healthy family snacks that we can take away from this discussion. You mentioned the different colors and the different vegetables and things, but what are some good family snacks that people can take away from the discussion for their children?
Not only snacks, but I want you to understand, the more you're eating, the better metabolism you're having. And you can't always just snack. When you're snacking, you have to monitor your snacks by looking at different things. And instead of using mayonnaise, sometimes you can use a cup of fat-free to reduce mayonnaise, because all this stuff has so much sugar and so much fats in it. So what I'm trying to do is give substitutes and offer the parents what they should eat, instead of buying and instead of having more salsa instead of salt, different things like that, where you can make it fun. And like soups, I love soups, because soups, you can put so many different things inside the soup and put some beans with it. They're getting everything that they need, and I'm trying to stay away from all, chicken stir fries. I'm trying to stay away from the fatty foods. So the more you give them a whole meal, the better it is, and it's actually filling for their stomach. So they don't want so much, chips and cookies and all the stuff that just give you all the fats around your stomach.
Got about a minute left. What closing thought would you leave parents with regard to just, feeding them and educating them properly?
Parents, go out and get my book, Being the Best You. You want this book because you want to give your child resources to understanding at an early age who you are. A lot of times we don't know who we are. We need to figure it out. We don't need to be judged by others. We need to understand that eating better, exercising better, you need a great example, being the best you. We need parents to go out on Ex Libris, go to my Twitter account, at Arthur Fayth, at Fayth Thomas, Arthur, Being the Best You, Ex Libris, Amazon. Go out and purchase my book.
All right, Fayth Thomas, author of the book, again, Being the Best You. We'll have the link up in the show notes for the book as well. So, Fayth, thank you so much for being with me on the program today.
Thank you.
And learn more about this program at thatbusinessnetwork.com, where new episodes air each weekday morning at 9 a.m. And if you'd like to come onto the program and share your story, please visit tbsinterview.com for more information. You've been listening to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.